Hello everyone, Dr. Eames here. This time I'd like to talk about product lines and some other related concepts. Now, a product line is just a group of products, and they're going to share some similarities, and hopefully they will also share some of the same consumers. And so your target segment will be either the similar or the same. As you can see here, sometimes you're going to create complementary products that will compete with each other as well as your competition. So the competition, as you can see here, would be from within. But most of the time, you would like to have complementary products at least. And as you have these competing products of your own that are competing with each other, you are still gaining some market share this way. Each one of those particular categories, if you look at these products here, would possibly appeal to different groups of consumers. And so um, you may be just adding a little bit of market share here and there with your marketing mix that you've chosen. Here is quite an amazing array of brands, images, logos, trademarks. This is the Campbell Soup Company, and you can see the huge number of complementary products. They're food products, right? And so they're complementary in that general sense. And the packaging and the familiar logos on many of them are a good example of how a company can really become a force in the marketplace using a variety of complementary product lines. This leads us to talk about the product mix. Now, the product mix really, when it comes to that, service providers also have a product mix. They have product lines and mixes that are associated with them. For instance, banks, they have products. They will sell you a CD, for instance, a certificate of deposit, and provide other services there. And you could find the same thing at a credit union and so forth. So a product mix is nothing more than the combination of all the different product lines you have, um, or all the product lines offered by a specific manufacturer. Um, and these can either be related or unrelated in diversification in the what products you're actually putting out into the marketplace. So here, if you look at Procter and Gamble, much different from those competing products from Coke, which would be all similar versions of Coca-Cola, or PepsiCo's water beverages, which are really just all water that are just slightly different from each other, differentiated only by the slightest amount of a little bit of flavor and so forth. But you could see here, Procter and Gamble, they have some complementary products in the sense that if you look at toothpaste and cosmetics and bar soap, those are sort of personal care products. You could make a broad category, and all three of those would appeal to certain groups of consumers within a general group. But then again, when you look at diapers, that's not a really a personal care product. That is for parents of young children. So that is a very much more specific group, not necessarily complementary with these others, but could be. And then when we look at batteries, well, we could say, what type of batteries are you talking about here? Are we talking about batteries for machines, big machines like automotives and boats and things like that? Or are we talking about batteries for everyday household electronics and so forth? And that's going to another completely different market. So that is the product mix for Product and Gamble. The fact that they have related and unrelated diversification, they have product lines with whole families of products and so forth that they market. And so imagine how complex their strategy, corporate strategy must be to handle all of this, because every one of these products in each of the markets that it appears has to have its own separate specific business level strategy. So handling the product mix is a serious challenge that businesses are all about on a daily basis. And that leads us finally to talk about product differentiation. Um, Making your product that is a possible common product in a certain industry with lots of competitors and imitators, how do you make it different? Well, Generally, you're going to try and add some differences, make it unique in some way, make it better quality, make it do more things, make it satisfy more needs, or do more than one function. Um, and there are so many different ways that you can differentiate. It might be the status you get by owning it. It could be the sense of value you get from the transaction itself. And so, in order to realize any of those benefits from product differentiation, the marketer is going to use just what it says here, a mix of their reputation, which is their branding, and their competitive price, their promotional package that is out there, and indeed also the physical packaging. So these things do matter. Actual product differences might be incredibly small, like in the example of flavored waters. There's not very much difference between the bottled waters other than the tiniest little changes. But if you can find that one thing that does differentiate yourself, your product line makes you different in some way, then you have what's probably a more successful winning combination in the marketplace. All right, folks, that's it for this time. I'll talk to you again soon.